Greetings, everyone. Well, something a little different this time around. Now, you may recall in one of my recent updates, I was talking about how I've been watching a lot of movies and trying to sort of, blah, 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 blah. I just have my own version of English, you know. Trying to get caught up on some of the movies that have been sitting on my shelf for a while that have gone unwatched. So I've been doing that, but in addition to that, we've been buying some new ones and watching those, and yeah, it's just like, it's an ongoing effort to get caught up in everything. And then of course there's all the TV show and cartoon sets, which just take forever to get through. Yeah, so doing what I can. Of course, being sick has given me a lot of opportunity to sit down and watch a lot of stuff. Of course, the unfortunate flip side of that is being sick, I haven't been able to review everything as I've been watching it, so I'm getting caught up in the watching, but falling behind in the reviewing. So I decided, you know what, screw it, we're going to get all caught up in the movie reviews in one fell swoop, and we're going to do them all in one video. That's right, it's Speed movie review time. No, I'm not reviewing Speed, but movie reviews speedily. Movie speed reviews? I don't know. Today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Movie reviews, Hyperspeed Edition. Yeah! And welcome back. Okay, so let's not waste any time. Last time I did a review of Wild at Heart, one of David Lynch's most accessible films and incredibly entertaining. Right after Wild at Heart, I watched Inland Empire, which is David Lynch's most recent film from 2006, I believe. This was a real trippy movie, and this is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, I'll just say right off the bat. I really enjoyed it personally, and I thought it was just an incredible mind fuck, basically. The one thing I've always enjoyed about David Lynch movies is his ability to do dream sequences and to create these surreal, dreamlike environments. It literally feels like you're voyeuristically watching someone's dream, you know? Nobody does dream sequences like David Lynch. And Inland Empire is like a 3-hour dream sequence. It's just incredible. Now, it's funny because I poked around IMDb a little bit to try to find like some coherent plot summaries. This movie's 3 hours long. It's a solid 3 hours, okay? And the first hour of it follows a pretty straightforward, easy to follow plot. Hours 2 and 3, however, just get progressively more surreal and trippy. And it all does make sense if you pay attention and you follow it and you sort of get into the right zone. You will never be able to explain it verbally. It is impossible to explain Inland Empire verbally. It is quite literally an experience that you either get or you don't. And it's like you just sort of get it instinctively as you're watching it. Like you understand. It's like, I understand as you're watching it, but then after it's over, you try to put it into words and you're just like, I understood, but I can't explain. Yeah, and well, when I went on IMDb to try to look up some plot summaries to try to figure out how to do this review, I was like, I noticed something. I noticed a pattern, a recurring pattern to the reviews on IMDb. All of them would summarize the first hour of the plot, and after that, they just didn't even try. Yeah. Hi, just interjecting briefly, because I realized in my haste to quickly give you the gist of Inland Empire, I kind of forgot to give you the gist of Inland Empire. Okay, well, the long and short of it is, what's the plot? What's the story? What's it about? Yeah, this is what I forgot to tell you before. It's a couple days later. You may notice I've got different clothes on, and yeah. Anyway, the basic plot goes like this. It opens up with Laura Dern is an actress who is up for a major role in an upcoming film. The director of the film is played by Jeremy Irons, the producer is played by the great Harry Dean Stanton, and her co-star is played by Justin Theroux. Justin Theroux you may recall from Mulholland Drive. Now, there's an interesting backstory about the film that they're doing, but I won't give that away. I'll let you experience that for yourself. But suffice it to say, things are a little odd with this particular film. There's a great cameo at the beginning, by the way, by Grace Zabriskie, who Twin Peaks fans will, of course, remember as Laura Palmer's mother. And she's appeared in most of David Lynch's films, often in very memorable roles. She had a role in Wild at Heart as well, which was unforgettable and I think her most disturbing character ever. Actually, while I'm on the subject of Wild at Heart, Crispin Glover fans might also be curious about Wild at Heart because he has another unforgettable cameo in that as a man who likes to put cockroaches in his pants. Yeah. Anyway, back to Inland Empire. Yeah, so essentially she gets the part in the movie and then things start to go strange almost right from the moment go. She and her character and Justin Theroux's character begin to take on characteristics of their characters from the movie, and the movie story begins to intrude on their daily lives. In fact, it begins to intrude on their daily lives before they even start shooting the movie. Like right from the moment they get the parts, they start to experience strange things related to the production of the movie. And this is all within the first hour. This is the first hour of coherent plot that I was talking about. Then from hour 2 forward, it just gets progressively more surreal. And yeah, again, I urge you to do your best to watch it all in one go, because otherwise, I watched it in 2 sittings, and I kind of regret that, because I realized as I was watching that, I really should have just gone the distance and watched it all in one go, because it really is an experience that kind of builds as you watch it and takes you on a mental journey. Fans of Mulholland Drive and Lost Highway may enjoy this because it does explore some similar thematic elements, again, without giving anything away. But if you like the style of story that Mulholland Drive and Lost Highway were, you'll see some familiar elements in this, but definitely a very different take on those particular themes, and I think you might like it. Then again, maybe not. I've had some people comment that they love Mulholland Drive, but they hated Inland Empire. So I leave that entirely up to your own discretion. If you want to give it a go, give it a go. If not, not. But it's definitely different, and it's about as hardcore Lynch as it can get, because it follows a very nonlinear, disjointed narrative that you really have to pay attention to follow, and it is wildly open to interpretation. Again, looking on IMDb, some of the discussions about trying to decipher the meaning of certain things, sometimes there is meaning, sometimes there isn't. I mean, David Lynch is a director who likes to play around with what they call absurdism, and some of the aspects of absurdism, it's a sort of style of art, a style of filmmaking or storytelling. With absurdism, essentially, you often have perceived meaning where there may not actually be any meaning. You have nonlinear narrative, nonlinear dialogue. So often, for example, characters may have a conversation, but it may be out of sequence, like the actual flow of the conversation may be out of sequence. For example, there's a short series of short films that David Lynch did called Rabbits, and actually elements of Rabbits are incorporated into Inland Empire, so you'll see some bits and pieces of that. Rabbits was a series of interconnected short films, which he described as a sitcom, although it is more disturbing than funny. And the conversation that the main characters in Rabbits have, who are quite literally humanoid rabbits, is very nonlinear, and you really have to pay attention to kind of get the flow of the conversation. So anyway, you'll see bits and pieces of Rabbits on there, and if you want to see Rabbits in its entirety, it is available on the lime green set of, you know, sort of the David Lynch compendium. And well, it's not even everything that he's ever done, but it's a collection of a lot of stuff that he's done, stuff from his website, and a couple deluxe editions of. You got a deluxe edition of Wild at Heart, and you got the Elephant Man and Eraserhead on there. I think Wild at Heart gets the most deluxe treatment on the lime green set. But I'm going way off on a tangent here, and there's no way we're going to be able to cram all the movies into this video. So yeah, I'll go back to a few days ago and give you my little conclusion of Inland Empire, and then I think we'll go to the next. We'll do the next batch of movies in the next video, and then just sort of split them up like that. All right. The best way I can explain it is as much as I just described it. It is a dream sequence that you experience as you watch. It does not follow a standard narrative structure by any stretch of the imagination. Do not expect Hollywood simplicity with this particular journey into the dark and twisted mind of David Lynch. No, the best way I can describe it is, if you want to give it a go, do your best to watch it all in one sitting without taking a break, because that is the only way you're going to get the full experience, because it really does take you on a journey mentally as you're going. It literally messes with your head as you're watching it, and it's just so bizarre and so unique and original, and a lot of people hate it because of that, and you might hate it. So I'm going to recommend it to people who like stuff that pushes the envelope and is like crazily different. I am not going to recommend it to people who like stuff a little more, you know, neat and tidy, shall we say. And I could probably go on about that for a while, but we're doing speed reviews, so we can't do that, can we? It literally feels like you're you know, voyeuring.